you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. George, much has been made about the number of emails that have been recovered. I would agree with some of the members who have emphatically asserted that numbers matter. My question to you is, how many emails that contain evidence of wrongdoing do you need to recover in order to pursue justice? Is it 10,000? Is it 1,000? 100? Would one be enough?
One would be enough, sir.
So whether you find 1,000 emails or 100 emails or 10, it's really the only relevant point here is that you and your office are doing your best. You're exercising due diligence to pursue justice. And if there's one email or one document that proves wrongdoing, it would justify the effort. Would you agree with that?
I agree 100%, and I would beg your indulgence here, Congressman, because the staff of the Office of Investigations is doing just tremendous work almost around the clock over weekends and over holidays in order to address this matter and to locate that potential one email, or if there are more, or if there aren't any, to make a final conclusion as it relates to this.
And I think I can speak for the staff, for this committee. I don't think I'm out of line in saying this, that we are very, very grateful for the work that your office does and the other IGs and how you pursue it with excellence and professionalism on behalf of the American people.
Thank you.
Mr. George, I don't remember. I think you were one of the 47 Inspector Generals who signed a letter to this committee raising concerns about federal agencies' lack of, I'd say, forthcoming with evidence and other documents. Is that correct? Did you say that?
I was a signature to that.
And we held a hearing on that, and one of the points that I think we brought out here is that how the lack of cooperation by these federal agencies, and in this case, I would say the IRS, has impeded investigations, have made it very, very difficult to get to the truth, to get to the bottom of these issues. Have you found that to be the case?
Very rarely, especially in all candor under the current commissioner. He's been extraordinarily cooperative. But I have to point out, and again, in all candor, the timing is blurred given everything that occurred. It wasn't until once appearing before this very committee that the IRS turned over a training chart. And I'm not relating to the email investigation, it's the overall exempt organizations investigation. And at that time, review, audit. So it was not an investigation, so they were not compelled to provide us that information, but they neglected to. And so what it showed us, it showed that we may not have considered something that we were unaware of. They were not required to provide that information to us. And so that's a long-winded way of saying, in that instance, they didn't share information with us that they knew existed. And so that is one of the reasons why I agreed to put my name to that letter.
Well, thank you for elaborating on that. But my concern about this is that whether they didn't provide it because they weren't asked, I find it inconceivable that they would be unaware of the investigation and of the need to turn over every document that might have some relevance to this, and whether they intended to obstruct or impede, or whether it was by benign neglect or incompetence, is irrelevant, because at the end of the day, the objective is to get to the truth. It is nonpartisan in that respect. It's incumbent upon us in this committee and in your office to pursue the truth. I think that's the key point here. It doesn't matter how many emails you've gone through, what's been reported in the media. That's irrelevant. What's relevant is whether or not any wrongdoing has occurred and that you be able to do your job as Inspector General and get to the truth. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield the balance of my time.
Thank you.